Welcome everybody to the live. We are starting this one 1 minute early today for a change. Had some technical difficulties in the past ones, but finally everything just worked. The equipment, the camera, soundboard, we are online. My internet has been a bit spotty though, so if it slows down or stops, I'm still with you. If it cuts out, I'm sorry for that in advance. It's been cutting out all day, so hopefully this will work just fine. Um, Today's live, super simple. Just like all the other ones, we will have 3 guests on the live. And Troy will be coming in at 2:10 to answer a bit of the more complex logistics questions. He is our supply chain and logistics manager, absolutely crushing it, despite all the challenges, which we will get into today as well. We did publish a Indiegogo update yesterday. Certainly not our most popular one. We had a big delay in the UK, so we'll be touching on that as well today. And if you've got any questions, we're here to answer those. So thanks everybody for joining. Let's get right into it. Orbel asks, can you bring up a 19-inch and 23-inch and put them next to each other for comparison? Orbel, that's a great idea. I can't physically do that in the live here. Maybe somebody can try and bring them in. I don't think they'll fit in the frame, but that's something we can try and get a photo for you, or at least maybe overlay them as a graphic. That'd be super cool. Thank you for the idea. DB, hi Rob, I have a blade with touring package in steel gray on order. Is it possible the bike is in customs in LA? I haven't yet received an address verification email, so excited to get the bike. DB, congratulations on the new blade. Super excited. The latest I know is that we have 40 of those, I believe, which are about ready to dock, or they've docked already. Troy's going to give you an exact answer on that, as he does handle the incoming bike. So he'll give you a better answer here in about 10 minutes when he's in. Peter also has a question for Troy, so I will say that for once he's in. Connie says, I'm the same. Maybe Rob is coming on to tell us that our blades are in the warehouse and are about to ship out today. Yeah, Connie, they're almost here. The blades, if you pre-ordered a blade with us, a large batch of those should be going out very, very soon. Troy will tell you exactly when on those. Super exciting for the new Blade 2.0 riders. Peter. Okay, Peter's talking about the customs. Zach, will UK VAT need to be paid on bikes delivered to Northern Ireland? Northern Ireland is part of the UK, but staying within the customs union with the EU, unlike England, Scotland, and Wales. Zach, that question goes well beyond my understanding of the VAT situation there, so I won't be able to answer that. I don't know if Troy has an answer for that, but that's something we can certainly look into, because I don't want to put my foot in my mouth and give you the wrong answer to it. Chris Link, great to have you on the live again. Really appreciate you showing up for every one of the lives. You're certainly one of our super fans. I appreciate you. Good to see you too. And he says, just hoping you start the LVL country shipment ASAP. Chris, we will be, as soon as the Chinese New Year holiday ends, which is next week, we're starting to ship out the low volume location bikes. So those are going into the build plan, and we'll work our way down the list in order of which country has the most bikes from those low volume regions, kind of work our way down. Japan, I believe, is number 1, so that'll be one of the first ones to go. However, it's also one of the more challenging ones. Super, super strict with customs and everything, getting bikes into that country. So it may not be the very first ones, but it will be up at the top of the list. Chris says, I'm nearly crazy waiting for my bikes to come, Rob. I understand that, Chris. Totally get it, and you're not the only one on that. It will come, though. Eugene, good afternoon. Great to have you here. Rock and roll. Hey, you know it. Phil S., greetings, sir. Chris, good dawn. Brad Marshall, hey, Rob, got my bike last week. It's brilliant, worth the wait. Brad, awesome to hear that. Super excited. Where are you located, and how does it ride? Ding, it has a cry emoji on the UK update. Thanks for keeping us updated, though. Ding, I'm with you on that. It was the most the hardest update I've had to write. The bad news on the first UK shipment. We thought it was going out last Saturday, the 13th, and didn't receive the news until that weekend. That not only did they not go out, but that parts are stuck in customs, and that's why they didn't. So really disappointing there, and I understand for all our folks in the UK if you're disappointed as well. We're getting on top of the situation, so Troy's flexing his muscles on the Spain operations, trying to figure out exactly what's going on there, and get those bikes moving to you guys ASAP because God knows you've been waiting long enough. Oleg, hi Rob. If I wanted to gift or sell my bike, what happens with my extended warranty at 250? It's a fairly large value of the bike. Oleg, officially the warranty isn't transferable. However, I'd just reach out, like if it's one of your close friends or whatever that you're selling it to, reach out to us. Customer support will see what we can do for you. June Piawall. Hi Rob, I purchased my baby maker last July 5th, 2020. By any chance, do you know when am I getting my email notification? June, where are you located? I might be able to give you a better idea based on where you're located. As with every live, we really can't give people an exact date on when the bike is going out, when the notification comes, because there's a lot of variables in the process. A lot of things come up, like for example, with the UK shipment that we can't anticipate. So we can't say, hey, it's going to be June 15th or whatever date it's going to be. We can say that we're working our asses off and doing whatever we can to get it to you as soon as possible. And once we have allocated it, so that means we've built it and basically got it on a shipping container to go out, then we send you the shipping notification, which will tell you a better idea. It'll say, hey, this is coming about early March or mid March, etc. James, just put my baby maker together last night. Need to get an adapter for my bike pump to connect the tire. James, congrats on the baby maker. I'm stoked it arrived for you. And the adapter, yes, you're going to want a. I was getting confused, but it should be the Presta valve, which is the smaller valve on the bike. It's called the Presta valve. Standard bicycles and also your cars, that's a Schrader valve. But what most people don't know is that a lot of pumps out there. I'm not going to say all bike pumps, but so many bike pumps that you see, standard bike pumps, especially ones where you've got your feet on it. If you look at the mouth of that, a lot of them you can unscrew the mouth, flip it around, and it will work for the Presta valve. They're designed to be used for both valves. So check out the bike pump that you've got. If you've had a challenge pumping your tire, you might just have the dual purpose one, which is very common for most modern pumps. Unscrew the cap, flip out the rubber piece inside, screw it back on, and you might be in luck. Ray Ueno says, it's official. I hate the Chinese New Year. Hey, Rob. Ray, I don't blame you for that. We hate that the factories have shut down for so long. It's insane how long the holiday is. Really cool, I guess, if you're one of the workers there, you get some time to spend with family. And they do work very, very hard at the factories. We're talking, long days and nights to pump out as many of these baby makers and do a quality job on them. So they do deserve a little bit of a break, but it's killing us not being able to ship more bikes right now during this period. The good news is that the holiday ends and the factory will be open next week. So progress will continue in China as of next week. Peter Willison, Toll is your shipping company in Australia, may be costing the company money by not shipping bikes together by postcode. All cleared customs, all GST paid, so why not ship simultaneously to same area? Hey, Peter, thank you for the tip on that. I'm not sure how they operate, why they do that. When we ship, for example, with FedEx in the States, if we've got 5 bikes going to New York, they'll pick up 5 separate bikes and it will cost us the exact same amount to ship one bike as it will to ship one out of 5 bikes. I think they handle them the same unless you do a freight shipment, which will be a little bit different, but they've all got to go to the same address. Felix, I recently moved from the UK to France. Can I still change my delivery address? Felix, I'm going to save that question for Troy. If your bike has not shipped out and you haven't received a address confirmation, then you will be able to do it. So how it works is once we've confirmed Your bike is in this shipment, this container, etc. We've allocated the bike to you. We send you an email, so keep an eye out on your email for emails from us. It'll come from shipping at flx.bike, and it'll say, "Hey, your baby maker is on the way. We're going to send it out. Please confirm your address." That's when you'll be able to confirm it and tell us if your address has changed. If you've moved countries, though, um, you'll definitely want to contact us, support at flx.bike. If you're in a different country, that's going to be a little bit more complicated. So please contact us, support at flx.bike. Michael Garibay. On the Blade 2.0 on hard takeoff, level 5 sport mode, it has skipped once or twice like a belt or gear skip. Is this a common issue or need to be concerned about? Love the bike, don't want to break it. Michael, great question. I have not noticed a skip in the belt. What you really should do is your gearing, that you're not in like a super high gear and just cranking it, full throttle, full pedals in a high gear. You really want to use those gears appropriately for, if you're taking off from a stop, you need to be in a low gear. If you're going up a hill, again, low gear. That's going to put the least amount of stress on the belt, on the motor, on everything in the bike. Just like your car, you don't want to put it in fifth gear and floor it from a stop. You don't want to do that on your bike either because it could damage it, just like your car. All right, we do have our first guest of the day, the man himself. Big round of applause. Oh, there's the round of applause. Trey Richland in the house. All right, we've got some questions for you.
Yep.
If you want to give us a quick status update, and then I'll fire you some questions, okay?
Yeah, like your previous update said, so we got some good news and bad news. We'll start with Australia. I've seen a lot of people asking questions about that. So there is a technical problem that's going on. There are currently 107 orders that don't have tracking. They've been moved over to the carrier, but we don't have tracking on them. That's why we haven't uploaded those to Indiegogo, and you don't have that notification. So working on that. We are aware of it. We're not sleeping here. So we're in contact on a daily basis on that, trying to get that resolved. So we'll, as soon as we can, we'll get the tracking uploaded. I know some people have gotten some tracking and it's like, where's my bike? They've been slow to push some of these out. I know some have gotten delivered, some have not. There was a question about distance, some are farther, some are closer. So the way these came in is 444 bikes. That's two 40-foot containers. And the way they kind of pack those, the way they pack those is they put them in by like type. So all the, orange 19-inch, pro droppers go in, and then the matte black upper 23. So they go in as a group and they come off the containers that way too. And there's two containers. So they're pulling those off and then they start processing them through. They pretty much stay kind of in order as they bring them off, and someone right down the street might have their bike. You don't. It's most likely because they were early on one of the containers and you may be later on one of the other containers. So again, it's two 40-foot containers. They do take a bit and they kind of run them through, and to try and consolidate all those by location, I think would be really tough. The area you would need to try and do that, I think would be pretty tough. So that's what's going on. So the distance doesn't really determine the fulfillment speed on these, because again, they're coming off different containers at different times, different colors, the way they're packed. So that's kind of how the fulfillment rolls out. But there is an issue going on with toll. We're trying to get to the bottom of it. So we are aware of it. So our apologies on that. We're working it, and daily communication going on there. So we're trying to get it resolved.
That's toll in Australia, correct?
Toll in Australia,
Great.
yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so, well, we might as well go with the other bad news. So UK and Europe, we thought we were going to be shipping some bikes. We had an expectation that containers were going to get released, and they didn't. And we had some parts shortages for the builds, and we weren't able to finish them. So we're kind of stuck right now until our containers get released. What they are is they're stuck in customs. 3 containers currently are stuck in customs. One of them goes all the way back to December. 2 of them are from January. So we are struggling with some part shortages in the Spain plant right now. So unfortunately,
So who's going to Spain, Troy? You or me?
I'll go if I can get on. I just got a new passport. Just got my
Uh-huh.
renewed passport. I'm willing to go. You can go. We can both go, but someone's got to be here to hold down the fort. So
How's your Spanish?
uh, not good.
All right.
No bueno.
No
I
bueno.
know I'm good enough to say that, but that's about it. So how's your Spanish?
I see. Is that Spanish? I hope that's Spanish. I get them confused sometimes.
I don't know enough Spanish to know if it's Spanish or not. I'm
Más o
sorry.
menos, más o menos.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that's the issue right now, and we've been following that on a daily basis. We've asked, is there, can we intervene with elected officials? We're trying to work this up because the customs situation in Spain it's tough. I mean, once we get the stuff into the factory and into where we're building, we're getting them built, but it's getting the materials there. So it's very unfortunate.
So this is on us, guys. We try not to blame anything on
No, that's
COVID.
ours.
That's overused a lot, but that is a serious challenge. We would be in Spain last Sunday already if we were allowed into the country. However, you need basically a letter from the Senate in Spain to get into the country there right now. So it's really challenging. As soon as we can, if one of us can get over, we're going to be there and sort it out. But in the meantime, we're doing everything we can from home here to get that fixed.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about. Oh, okay. So let's talk about the U.S. and Canada a little bit. So a bunch of people have probably gotten address notifications. About 500 address notifications went out for baby makers yesterday. Another 80 for people who ordered spare batteries and the extra chargers, and 305 touring kits. Now those are just the address notifications. We don't have them yet. They're on container 15, which we're waiting for that to get unloaded and moved over to FedEx, but they're allocated. So that's actually touring kits for everybody who ordered a touring kit that currently has a bike or has a bike allocated to them. So, and then we'll have a few spares to put in there, and then we've got more coming on a subsequent shipment. Canada, container 14, there should be a bunch of general authorization agreement letters going out to explain the whole thing with how FedEx is going to clear customs for your bikes. We already did those for container 13. So that in total between 13 and 14 is 212 plus another 178, about 380, 390 bikes going to Canada. So, and that's a significant portion. And I think I mentioned before, those containers were predominantly Canada. Everything going forward for Canada will kind of be commingled with the United States and Mexico, and they'll just be fulfilled in order. So the general authorization agreements, we'll probably still talk to them about them on the weekly updates, but they won't be the large quantities that we're sending out right now. I know people are asking in Europe about touring kits. We'll probably work on that. Not probably. We will work on that right after the Chinese New Year. But again, focus, because of the customs situation, is on getting bike parts to get those through. So to get as many people their bikes as possible. And then last issue, we had a European issue where we had people getting the wrong chargers. I think you talked about that in the update. Of the 6, well, we now know about 8. We had 2 more come in, so we know of 8 total. Of the 6 that I had prior to today, we've already got tracking numbers, and those have already been sent out from Spain, the right charger. We'll add the 2 more in that I got today, and hopefully they'll get those out tomorrow. I've asked them to send those the quickest courier possible to get you guys. Now that you have a bike, so you can charge the thing up and go riding, and hopefully the weather is will cooperate with you also.
Fantastic. Hey, when we go to Spain, we're gonna have to find the guy who mixed those up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you hold them all. No, wait, we can't say that. It's workplace violence.
All
But
right. I saved some questions for you. I
yep,
think you answered a lot of them, but let's see. You talked about the shipping anomalies in
yep,
Australia. That's
yep.
done. Okay, blades. A couple folks are asking about where are the blades. We recently had a shipment of blades come in. Where are those at now?
Those are container. I gotta remember now. I get them mixed up. I can look it on my board. There's
All
like
right.
40. There's actually like 40 blades coming in on one of our containers, and I think it's. I want to say it's 16 if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they're real close. We've got a bunch of. Actually no. I take it back. It's container 12. Container 12 has 40 blades in it, and that one is the one that's been parked. And I haven't had a chance to check yet if it birthed yet. But container 12 has been parked, but it should be, birthed here pretty quick. And then it's slowed down, but it isn't as bad as we thought. Last container we cleared out of LA Harbor took 10 days. They were estimating 2 weeks. Normally it takes about 4 or 5 days. So it has slowed down, but it's actually better than they were predicting. So those shouldn't be that far out, and we should have blades in stock here pretty quick.
Awesome. All right. So blades parked and coming in the next few weeks. They got to clear
Yep.
customs, get to FedEx, and then ship from there. You don't know anything about UK VAT to Northern Ireland, do you?
I
Specifically,
I have
Northern Ireland.
a good guess, but I don't want to venture that. My understanding is that Northern Ireland, I don't know enough about Brexit. My understanding is that they're in with them, but I would not bet money on my opinion on that. My knowledge isn't that good on that one.
Great.
Sorry.
All right. Somebody moved from the UK to France due to Brexit. Is it
Mhm.
possible to change his address if he emails us?
Yeah,
Great.
yeah, should be fine.
All right.
But don't wait. Do that when you know that stuff's happening. Please don't delay. We have people waiting. A week or more after we send out address notifications, and in some cases, we actually have to interrupt shipments and send bikes other places. So if you know you've moved, tell us sooner, not later, please.
Lee Trammell, purchased in April 2020, received my shipping email February 1st, then another email February 9th communicating that my bike was complete in the port of LA. How much longer can I expect to wait?
So I think to February 1st, I think I think that's container 14. So that is the next one. We're anticipating that being to FedEx. That is in the harbor now. And like I said, I think it landed February. Well, let me do my math here. 17th. I think it landed the 8th. So 18th would be tomorrow. Hopefully it transfers to FedEx here this week. And then the labels will go out and the bike will be on its way, probably within 4 or 5 days after that. They have to de-stuff the container. They have to get all the labels, kind of reconcile the labels with the boxes, and then they all move over to FedEx Ground. They put them in another container from freight to ground, move them over, and then they're into the ground system, and that will be your fulfillment. And when that happens, as soon as they hit ground, that's when you get a notification with your tracking number.
All right. Guys, UK situation is so ridiculous. It smacks of incompetence. How could you not know that there were customs issues? It goes without saying that the further delay is becoming more than simply frustrated.
Well, we did know there was customs issues. We were, again, one container's been sitting there since December. We had a belief that container was going to be released, and it wasn't. And I'll be honest, the explanation we get is not very good. So, but we thought it was coming, and it wasn't guesswork. It was, based on the information we had. So, it's not incompetence. We do the best we can with the information we get. What we're getting out of Spanish customs is not very good information.
Chris says, "You are Clark Kent as Superman. Remember that, Troy."
Well,
All right.
they've gotten rid of phone booths, so I really don't have anywhere to change anymore. So I have to kind of stay in this mode.
Awesome.
Thank
All
you,
right.
though.
Hey, Troy, thank you so much for the update. That's all the questions
That's it?
that we've got for you. Yeah, the rest of them are just ripping on me, so I'll handle
Well,
those
there's
ones.
one more down here at the bottom, I think.
I s-
Isn't there?
He said, I
Um,
saw the drop test for the
are
box
all
of the baby.
emails out for
Uh,
bikes in LA and or on
oh,
the
okay.
water? And the answer to that is yes. They are. Um, yeah, all those have gone out. Now the good news is Chinese New Year is coming to an end shortly. Then we should hopefully have more bikes on the water in the near future. I'm
Oh,
not going
yeah.
to tell you exact date because I don't have an exact. Um, I don't know exact status on the whip. I know what they're building, but I don't know how close they are to loading up another container. But they'll start ramping up, I guess, next week.
Next
Correct?
week. Yeah,
Yeah.
next week we're back online.
Yeah.
Awesome. Brad says, Troy, you're doing great.
We're trying. You know, we're dying to get you guys your bikes. We really are. Some of you probably seen I'm actually responding on Facebook and such. I try not to get sucked into that, but it ends up being we're trying to get you guys answers the best we can, and sometimes the information is a little sketchy. Like I said, the thing with the Spain customs is really. I'm not satisfied with it. I'm not happy with it. Nobody here is. We especially when I see what I call the success stories. I see people in Australia who are now getting their bikes and they're absolutely thrilled with them. We want more of those. I want the people in Australia to have their bikes. I want the 107 orders that we don't have tracking for. I want you guys tracking. I want these things delivered because those are the things that you really work for, is to see, people posting pictures of their bike and saying, hey, it was worth the wait. And I truly believe you guys are going to feel that way. But that being said, we're trying to minimize that wait. We really want to get you your bikes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Troy. You're doing great. Big round of applause. Troy is awesome. He's on top of it. I know we didn't have the, all good news this week like we want to have every week. But, when we got the news about Spain, Troy came to me. We were both totally gutted. He really cares. He really wants to get these bikes to you guys. All of us do here at FLX. Nobody's trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. We're not trying to deceive anybody. We just want to build the bikes and get them to you, and we're doing our absolute best to do that. There's been some challenges along the way, but we're working through them. We're getting through them. We're more than halfway there on all the bikes delivered. Loads of bikes being delivered every day, really, around the world, which is super exciting. And if you haven't got yours yet, it is coming. It will be there with you shortly, and it'll be well worth the wait. Connie Reese, will my new Blade Touring arrive with a Thudbuster seat post like in the new assembly video? Connie, I haven't even seen the new assembly video yet. I'll have to check it out. But we did recently change the seat post style that we use. We used to use just a straight like shock style suspension seat post. It looks like a regular fork, and we went to the kind with hinges on it. I forget the exact brand, but I believe we green lighted that. So you should have the upgraded suspension seat post on that, if I'm not mistaken. Aaron J, why is a Baby Maker Pro so expensive? Aaron, I guess it's all relative. We really want to build a quality bike. We could certainly build them much cheaper, and there are many, many cheaper bikes out there on the market. We want it to be stylish. We want it to perform well, so we use the best components we can get. We're using the Carbon Gates belt drive. There's even copies of the Baby Maker with shitty components on it, who completely ripped it off, even stole names of our other bikes to make it. But we use smooth welds on all the bikes. Just absolutely beautiful. That does cost us a lot more. And we put so much into the precision of these bikes to make sure they're the best for you. So you do pay a little bit more than you could get a Walmart bike for, but it's well worth it. And compared to other bikes out there, if you go to a bike shop, you can't even get a standard bike for that price at a lot of bike shops, a good standard road bike. Brad Marshall, delivered to Melbourne, Australia. Any tips on best way to tackle hills? Bike ride's great, just struggled up hills a little more than I hoped. Yes, absolutely, Brad. We did publish a video on that exact topic. Somebody had asked it before. How do you get up a hill on a Baby Maker? The reason is the Baby Maker is a single speed bike. And so you've only got one gear ratio. It's like riding a fixie. Luckily, you have all the motor power to help you get up. But because you only have one gear ratio and it's a mid to high gear ratio, it's not the best gear ratio for going low speed up a hill. So what you want to do is you want to be in the sweet spot for that gear ratio, which is a higher speed. We're talking 15-ish miles per hour. In Australia, that's going to be 25 kilometers per hour. You want to get speed to go up the hill. And if you can't, if you're at a stop on the hill, you don't want to go just straight up it. What you can do is go sideways on the hill, pick up some speed, and then turn into the hill. So you build up that momentum and then carry the momentum up the hill. Another one is instead of going sideways, you can go with a little arc down the hill. So like a 45-degree angle down the hill and then loop that back up. Carry all the speed and momentum into the hill and you'll get up it much, much easier. Orbel, hi Rob, thank you for doing this every week. I'm not sure if you got my comment earlier, but I want to see if you can bring up a 19-inch and a 23-inch to compare the height. Orbel, that's going to be very challenging for me in this small office. You probably won't be able to fit them in the view of the camera, but we can look into getting an image of those side by side in the future so that you can see them, what the height difference is. Peter Wilson, why did you go for press to valve? The car type is more common and easier to use. Peter, there are narrow tires on the base. Fits better. It weighs a tiny bit less. So that's the one we chose. It is a road bike, and it's a very standard valve for a road bike. Lee Tremel, purchased in April 2020, received my shipping email February 1. Okay, we did answer that question already. Chris, please do not make any mistakes sending all the parts for my bike, such as wrong charger, etc., like just happened to others. Okay, Rob, please. Otherwise, I will be commit suicide here. Chris, getting the wrong charger for your bike is nothing to commit suicide over, but we get it. We'll do our best not to make any stupid mistakes like we've done before. Again, that was only 8 chargers that we know of that were mixed up out of hundreds of bikes that have shipped. So it's gutting to see, but we're not messing up every bike order. It's a very isolated incident, and we're on top of it. All right, we do have a new guest in the studio. Why don't you come have a seat? I wanted you guys to meet another member of Team FLX.
Hey, how's it going?
Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a fun fact about yourself? And you have to get a little closer to the microphone.
Hi, my name's Dylan. I do a lot of the marketing and social content and video content YouTube stuff here at FLX. And a fun fact about me is I like to make music as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember his interview. He had a microphone in his interview, and I was like, "Oh man, this guy, he's on the microphones already."
Yep.
Definitely bonus
guy
points
as well.
for that. Yeah. So what did you make the Blade touring package assembly video? Is that what you did?
I made the blade assembly video.
Blade assembly video. Okay, Connie was asking about that. That's why I asked.
Yeah, we can definitely work on a touring package one too if we don't already have one. But basically, we've just kind of been refining all the assembly videos and things like that because as more and more bikes get shipped out, we find more and more ways to have user error. So, just been improvising on that stuff.
Totally. So, Dylan came on. How long have you been with us?
Only like 3 months, 4 months,
That's it?
5 months.
Yeah, it feels like more like 6 months.
Yeah.
But Dylan came on. He's a content creator, super talented, photos, videos. So a big part of his work moving forward is to find out, where are people having trouble assembling the bikes? What common questions are we getting? How can we make videos to make your lives easier as riders? So, like a question we had is, how do you get up a hill on a baby maker? That's a great example.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that again. Could do it better, even explain more ways to do it. So,
Yeah,
all
so we
good
did
stuff.
that. So if you guys do have any content suggestions, questions where you're not sure how to use the bike, Dylan would love to hear them.
Yeah, honestly, any suggestions you guys have, clearly the people who tune into these lives every week are, big followers, and I'd love to hear what you guys want to see, what you guys want to know more about, so we can keep pumping out helpful videos, fun videos, things that make you guys feel like you're part of the community, part of the team.
Hell yeah. What's one of the most challenging parts about your job?
Sitting next to Alice and Kaylee.
Why is that?
Because that's too many reasons to list here. I don't know. No, I don't know. Nothing's really too difficult. Just, I guess, finding new things to come up with, seeing what works and what doesn't, and trying to make everyone happy.
Especially Alice and Kaylee.
Yeah.
I just gave a.
I figured you
dead
got, yeah.
Very nice.
Cool.
Best part about working here?
Best part about working here is exciting. It's a new industry, more or less, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. And it's super fun. I mean, I can't wait for everyone to receive their bikes so we can start doing some community engagement and things like that. And I've always loved bike riding and taking photos and doing that simultaneously. So yeah, it's a dream come true.
Are you excited about a new product launch coming up?
I'm very excited. Very excited.
Oh, yeah.
Did we talk about it here?
Yeah, we can talk about it. It's safe to talk about it.
The weapon is coming. So that'll be not only exciting for me to film and take photos of, but super exciting for everyone to experience.
Hell yeah. Awesome, Dylan. Well, great job. We love the work you're doing. Super
Thanks.
excited to see more and more content. Thanks for coming on live.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.
All right. Dylan is a rock star. Back to answering questions. I will pick up where we left off. What a mustache, too. Great mustache. All right. I'm trying to find the last comment. Give me 1 sec here to catch back up. Talked about the hills. Brad, Orbel. Got that. Presta Valves. Chris Link, I think you were the last one. Okay, Orbel. Rob, I had emailed you guys about what brake system comes with the Pro, and I was getting two different answers. I was getting the MT30 and MT5. I wanted to know which one it is. Orbel, it is the MT30 on the Babymaker Pro with bullhorn bars. Felix PGNL. Hey, Rob, is it still possible? Okay, we answered that about the address change in the UK. James, including the pre-orders with the Indiegogo campaign, roughly how many Babymakers have sold? James, if you go to the Indiegogo campaign, you will see a count of how many backers there are at the top of the campaign. Right now it says 9,725 backers. We do also have some additional backers on top of that on our website, but it's around that number. Jason will be coming on in 3 minutes. Hi, I don't know if we answered this or not yet. James Gilroy. Hi, Rob. How goalable do you think we are? Got shipping notice. January had 3 dates. Now still not left the factory. Time for a bit of honesty, please. James, I imagine you're writing from the UK because it kind of matches that situation. James, we're not trying to blow any smoke up your ass or again, put the wool over on anybody's eyes. That was the best of our knowledge. We thought it was going out on February 13th. Unfortunately, it did not. We're very upset about it, more so than you are, if you can believe it or not, about that, and especially to disappoint you there. But if you do look in, for example, the Facebook group, everywhere else, we've got thousands and thousands and thousands of bikes that have shipped successfully and been delivered. This isn't some sort of scam. We're not trying to collect your money and not deliver anything. We're doing our absolute best, and bikes are going out every day as fast as they can. Things come up, unfortunately, like the customs delay, that are out of our hands. So we're doing our best to get over that, get the parts in, and get them out to you ASAP. Ka Win Chan, similar question on the UK. Why for almost months saying 20% of bikes shipped to UK, when in reality no bikes have been delivered and no one currently know when this will happen. Should just say actual stats, not inflated PR. Hey, thank you for the feedback on that. So we made that graphic, I believe it was 3 updates ago. So 3 weeks ago, because everybody was asking, give us a stat on exact, how far we are along in each major location. So we made that graphic based on bikes that had been allocated, where we had sent people notifications saying, hey, these bikes have been allocated and they will be on the way shortly. UK was one of those where we had the bikes allocated. They were going to ship out, so we sent the notifications out, added them to the graphic. We kind of jumped the gun on that because they hadn't quite left the factory yet. And that's why in the graphic we added some asterisks that says, in the last update, it had a star on it that says estimated shipping date or something like that, February 13th. And then in this one, we had to change that to be determined because we're still getting on top of the custom situation to figure out when those bikes can go out. But I understand why you're frustrated on that. You're right that no bikes have shipped to the UK yet. The first one will go out as soon as we can get it out, and that global shipping status graphic will be updated as every week as far as the progress we get on shipping bikes is. Peter Willison, thanks, Troy. Good answer to the Australian shipping problem. Okay, I think we've got, it's 2:40. It's time for Jason. Jason, if you're out there, come on in. Chris Link, which courier are you going to use for Indonesia, Rob? Chris, I'm not sure. Usually for like Southeast Asia, I think we've used UPS in the past and other couriers, but I can't tell you for certain until we actually do ship those bikes. Come on in, dude.
Hey. What's up, everybody?
All right, we've got Jason Lane in the house. Can you approach the bench a little bit? That'll put us both in focus.
There we go.
Jason, what did we find out? What do we have in common?
Rob and I have the similar or the same personality type. We are both considered, based on the test we took, we are both commanders. INTJ or INJT-A type.
I can't remember the letters, but
me either.
yeah. So everybody in the office took a personality test to see compatibility and everything. See how we can best work with each other to get more work done and serve you guys better. But Jason and I found out we have the same personality type. Pretty cool.
Definitely.
So Jason, you mind telling us who you are, what you do here?
Yeah, Jason, I am the lead mechanic, in-house shop manager. I'm the guy that if you guys need any help, technical questions that are asked, everything kind of comes across my desk at some point in the day. Wear a bunch of hats, but I have a lot of technical knowledge, especially when it comes to e-bikes and personal electric vehicles.
Hell yeah. I forgot to mention this earlier that you'd be on so we get more mechanic questions. But if you guys have any questions related to customizing the bike, electronics, if you want to pimp it out in some way, Jason is the man on it. He's super, super talented. He's gone through recently and refurbished how many batteries?
Oh my gosh, it's really at this point it's hard to count. I would say over a couple hundred. I mean, there are a lot of them available.
Yeah, really amazing. So saved a couple hundred batteries from going to a recycling center. We've been able to refurbish those. Super exciting. Those are batteries that have been we've been collecting them from warranty purposes, etc., with the idea of fixing them someday. And Jason finally took the project on and did it himself. So super excited about that. All right, let's see if there's any mechanic questions. Somebody asked about why we're using the Presta valve on the Baby Maker versus a Schrader valve. Do you have any insight on that?
You know, that's a really good question. The Schrader valve tends to be more of a common use in America. The Presta valve tends to be, I would say, more common European or in other countries. The Presta valve also much more common when it comes to the road style bikes. I would say just kind of matching what's common in the industry was an easy choice for us. If you guys are finding it difficult to air those tires up or to find something like a pump to air up the Presta valve, Amazon is a good option. They make a Presta to Schrader adapter. It just screws on, and then you can use your regular Schrader valve pump. Very, very inexpensive for those. And you can actually get a pack of like 5 of the adapters.
Awesome. Sweet. Let's see if we've got any other mechanic questions, mechanical knowledge questions. People keep calling Troy Clark Kent.
He is Superman.
He is Superman.
He's Superman by the look that he has, and I'd also say by his ability to come into FLX and literally take the reins on the supply chain stuff. That is not an easy job. For anybody else out there that has a similar job to his, logistics can be, oh boy, it's like counting for 8 hours a day. And then finally he gets to clock out and go home, and I'm sure his mind doesn't stop counting. So he dreams these things, dreams these numbers, dreams about these bikes.
Totally. So we have a few people who recently purchased the Blade 2.0 in the chat. What are your personal thoughts on that bike?
Boy, if you're looking for top level, super high performance, if you're the type that needs an adrenaline rush every time that you get on your bicycle, the Blade is absolutely, unequivocally the bike choice to make. I personally ride the Blade 2.0. I commute on it every single day. I do a 10.5 mile one way to get here and then back home. Takes me 15 minutes to get from my house to work and just about the same to get back. I have a massive hill that I have to climb, and it cruises right up it. I would say at an easy 20. It's basically at the pace of the cars cruising up the same hill. It's an easy choice to be an e-bike commuter when you have such a high performance option. Really, it leaves nothing to want.
Where did your Blade come from?
My Blade? What do you mean?
Yeah, how'd you get it? So are you borrowing a shop blade or?
No. I actually I financed mine. I will probably be paying on that thing for a while. But no, I fully got it. Rob hooked me up with a small employee discount, made it a little easier to obtain. Even without the discount, though, I would have gone for that Blade 2.0. It is a very, very aesthetically pretty bike. I get compliments on it regularly, and being able to work for FLX, maintain that bike, and get a small discount so that I could commute on it. Game changer, lifesaver, and a
Hell
dream
yeah.
come true.
Hell yeah. It's really awesome to have you ride in the Blade 2.0. You know, our own expert mechanic, shop mechanic, purchased the Blade 2.0 with his own money. Super exciting. Of course, he got the employee discount, but super cool to see. Last Blade 2.0 question.
Yeah.
What's your top speed on the flats with that bike?
51.9.
Oh my God.
And I have to give credit. It was a flat road, a very slight decline on the road. I run at a very average on flat straightaways, literally from the top charge until it's nearly empty. I cruise at about 38 miles per hour average. 40 is very easy to hit when the charge is above 50%. And when I'm above 80%, I can hit around 45 miles per hour on a constant.
Hell yeah.
It's, second to none.
Speed demon. Be safe out there, man.
I'll
right.
be fast instead of safe.
Let's see. Okay, somebody did ask about the brakes for the Baby Maker Pro with bullhorn bars. Those are the MT30, correct, as far as you know?
Yeah, MT30 lever, the package together with the caliper, the Magura caliper that's with it, they call that the MT Sport package. With a bike that's as light as it is, it's a dual piston hydraulic disc brake. It's all the stopping power in the world that you could possibly ever need. Did they have a question or just kind of what it was?
I don't know. Maybe they're looking for brake pads or not sure which compatible parts they are. So it's the MT Sport.
MT Sport, correct.
Okay, got you. Great, fantastic. All right, we did have some questions about the computer, so let me see if I can find that.
Sure.
NN asked, Baby Maker Pro display has any hidden setting? Example, wheel size changes or speed change?
There are some background. I wouldn't necessarily call them hidden settings. There are background settings that you can access and certain things that you can change. Some of those settings in there that are available to change, I would highly recommend. If you don't know what they are, don't touch them. There's also a button inside of those background settings that says reset. Absolutely do not push that. If you do, it will reset everything to the factory settings, not our factory, but the manufacturer's factory settings. Those may not be compatible. In fact, they are not compatible with our system. And so you don't want to change some of those things, but wheel size you can change. The speed is set to a 28 mile per hour max, at least for the American bikes. Your local laws may dictate differently. But for example, the American bikes set to 28. If you didn't want to go fully 28 miles per hour, you can delimit the speed. But they're all set up as they are for your local area.
Orbell asks, can we add a throttle to our baby makers for off-road use? Will it work, or is there no way for it to work?
That's a great question. And unfortunately, the throttle specifically on an e-bike has to plug into the brain of the e-bike. They call that an ESC, or a speed controller. Our speed controller in the Baby Maker does not have a connection for a throttle. Therefore, you will not be able to install a throttle without also replacing the controller. That gets into bigger logistical issues for you, though. You would have to find a round version of a controller like the Baby Maker has, which really is very uncommon. I believe that the one that we're using has something that we had created for our Baby Maker specifically. So you're going to be very hard pressed to find a controller to fit inside the Baby Maker. And if you went with a controller that you could install on the exterior that did have a throttle option, that would be one way to go. But then you're going to have to take away from the stealthiness of your Baby Maker, kind of making it a little, I guess perspective, but in my opinion, a little uglier than as sleek of design as has been created. So I would say, unfortunately, no throttle is going to be an option for the Baby Maker.
All right, Evan Gibb wants to know, can you answer my question about the computer working with speed and distance with a rear trainer? So he's got it on a trainer,
Okay.
where the bike is stationary and he's pedaling at home. Probably it's snowing outside, whatever. Will he be able to see the speed and distance on the display?
That's a very good question. I don't. So for the speed to be picked up, it basically works from the motor. There is what's called a hall sensor installed inside of the rear hub motor. That's how the Baby Maker and the controller determine the rotation of the wheel to give you the speed readout. I believe that, and probably not. You're probably not going to be able to use the trainer and the bike at the same time. It may take a little bit of thinking, and I won't say it's impossible, but it's going to be definitely difficult to make that work for you. You may be better off just riding the bike turned off, or getting a separate cycle speed that works with like a magnet. They're pretty inexpensive on Amazon, I would say. If you did something like that, you might be able to make it work, but it's going to take some.
If he puts it in 0, he should be able to see the speed, yeah?
If he puts
If he puts the Baby Maker on level 0.
No, because the rotation of the wheel is read inside of the motor.
Mm-hmm. But he'll be rotating the wheel if he's pedaling, right?
Well, is it one of those trainers that the wheel sits inside of that? Then yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think he'll have the wheel on, I'm assuming.
Yeah, if the
There's
wheel
different
is,
styles of trainers.
yeah, different styles of trainers. That's
Yeah.
kind of why it makes it a little bit more
Okay.
difficult to answer. But
So
yeah,
he's thinking about one with no wheel, right? I'm thinking about leaving the wheel on and spinning another wheel, basically. If you have it with the wheel on,
absolutely.
then he's set, right?
Yep, absolutely, it'll work. Yep.
So get that trainer. All right. Jay, any vids to show how to hook up a parallel battery to extend the range in emergency?
Great question. We have not created any specific videos indicating how to do this. I will tell you, running in parallel, if you have electronics background, more specifically some battery background, it's something that you would be capable of. It also, I suppose I have to mention, if you are within your warranty period and you make a modification in this way, it causes damage, you will in fact void your warranty. There are so many videos out there how to run lithium ion batteries in parallel to achieve more capacity. But again, I would really caution you, You don't want to burn out your battery. You don't want to burn out the controller because something were to short out. So yes, it's possible, but I caution heavily against it. And I don't know that we'll be making any videos in the near future on the how-to, as we don't want you guys to ruin your bikes. But yeah, I'll leave it there.
Hell yeah. Connie says, awesome opinion on the Blade 2.0. Thanks.
Thank you.
Cold weather oil for the Blade 2.0, or is it the all-weather oil used for cold weather?
It is the all-weather oil recommended by Roll-Off themselves. It basically, if you're going to be riding your bike in 0 or below, I would say realistically, if it's going to be generally freezing temperatures, you'll want to run the all-weather oil. It just keeps everything from seizing up. It keeps everything from corroding. Absolutely, but all-weather oil is the option to go with. It's on our website if it was something that you needed for your roll-off hub.
Awesome. I'm stoked that's on the website.
Yeah.
John, Jason, Baby Maker, metric or SAE?
Metric, SAE is really not typical for bikes. And I believe that's because 99% of the bikes that are manufactured overseas. We love standard measurement here in America, but the rest of the world just hasn't quite caught up, I guess.
Yeah. I love the metric system.
I'm kidding. I do too.
So I thought, here's my understanding. I didn't learn this from anywhere, but I'm pulling it out of my ass, Jason.
Sure.
Because cars basically originated in the U.S., where we're on the SAE system.
Yeah.
And so all cars are using that. But bikes, however, came from like France. That's where they became popular and came over from there. And they're on the metric system there. So if I had to guess, that's my guess.
That's logical. I think that's a great guess.
All right. Let's see. Okay, NN says he wasn't able to make any wheel change size, any changes to the wheel size in that setting on the display. Is there anything he's missing, or where can he get the info? He's got 3 bikes.
Is he talking about the Baby Maker? What model bike are we talking here?
I think he's talking about the Baby Maker.
So the wheel size setting is in the background parameters. I recommend to reach out to our support team. I believe they have the information. I've given them the information, so I believe they readily have it. If they don't, they'll ask me. But the how to access those background settings, in there, one of the options says wheel. You'll want to click on that, and then inside of there are some options. 700C, though, is where you're going to want to have your Baby Maker's wheel set so that it gives you an accurate measurement of the rotation, or rather the accurate speed limit.
Great. All right, Luke Thomas, do you know how large of a Tannis airless tire I could fit into the frame of my Baby Maker?
So that's a good question. It's going to be the 700C, and you're going to want to go by the standard of the inner rim width. I believe it's 16 millimeters is the inner rim width of the Baby Maker's wheel. Check on that and get back to you guys probably on the next live, or give that info to Rob. But you'll want to basically go with the 700C for the diameter, and then for the inner rim width, I believe is 16 millimeters for those Tannis tires.
Great. All right, Kawin Chan. Jason, if you own standard Baby Maker, to make the hill easier, can you get either a smaller front chainring or a bigger cog in the back to make it easier to get up hills?
Yeah, you can. That is a very good question. There are a lot of options. Basically, what you want to stay with, count the number of teeth that are on the Baby Maker, and if you want to go smaller in the back or bigger, you'll simply want to find what's called a freewheel style. A lot of BMX bikes use this, and you can go with different sizes. The front chainring, the important measurement to upsize or downsize your chainring, is known as BCD. That's the bolt circle diameter. Basically, the spider attaches to the chainring, and it has to meet a 5 bolt pattern. It's a 130 millimeter BCD, or a 130 BCD. So you want to go with that if you're going to change the size. But for the standard, you should absolutely have some options there.
That'd be a great article or video to make for the folks who do want to change the gearing. So if you're not happy with the gearing of the bike, like some folks, if you live in an area where it's just crazy hilly and you don't need to go that fast, you might want to gear it down like you said. So that could be a smaller front chain ring and a larger rear cog. And the Baby Maker base model will be the easiest one to change because it's a chain, super available.
Yeah.
You can shorten the chain, get a new chain really easily.
Yep.
The belt is going to be a little bit more challenging, but also possible with the Baby Maker Pro. All right. And guys, if I missed your question, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just just doing the mechanic questions right now while we have Jason's expert advice in here, and I'll get back to everybody else's questions shortly after. All right. Let's see. What is your suggestion for an FLX Fat e-bike?
Well, we really only have, I guess we kind of have two versions or two options of a fat tire. We have the Bandit. It's more like a classic mini bike, kind of like one of the Honda 70s. The frame is, and then it's an electric rear hub driven. And then our other option is our Gladiator bike. If you gave me the choice, I would honestly have to take one of each because they're so different in their style. The fat tire that you might be talking about used in places like deep sand and snow, definitely going to be the Gladiator. It's a high power motor. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic bike for those off-road conditions or general comfort on the road. If you air the tires up to a nice pressure, you won't feel a single crack with a fat tire. It's like a lazy boy recliner on wheels.
Hell yeah. Get one of every model.
That's
Trust
right.
me.
That's right.
All right. Calvin Chen asks, is it the front or rear gear you would have to change to make the bike easier to go up hills?
That's going to be the front. The front gear to be smaller. You could also change the back to bigger, but the bigger gearing in the rear is gonna make it easier to pedal. The smaller gear in the front will make it easier to pedal.
Yeah, so you can do either one. We recommend the front. It will be easier to change, and because you're going smaller, you can just break that chain down, reconnect it, and you won't need a new chain. If you go bigger in the back, you'll probably need a new chain.
True.
Okay. I think that's all the mechanic questions. Calvin Chen says, Jason, thanks for all the tips.
Hey, no problem, you guys. I'm happy to be here to help. If you don't see me on the live, from time to time I will be, but always send your questions to support. You can even address Jason in those tickets that you send over to us. Our support team has direct access to me, and they can ask me whatever question you guys can come up with. So please throw those out there. We're happy to get back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jason the Commander. Big round of applause.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, guys, I'm going to go back through these comments. I certainly missed a lot of questions that were not mechanic knowledge related, so I'll be going through those, and we'll catch up with the comments and then end the live. We are going over time now, but we've got more questions, and we will answer every single one. All right, let's see. Where did we leave off? We got to go way back. All right. Tim says, I saw the drop test for the box of the Baby Maker. Was that my bike in that box? I don't think so. Very unlikely. Phil says for Troy, for someone who sits in San Pedro watching the harbor, what ship is container 15 coming on? I'm not sure about that. Mateus, I no longer need the touring package. Is it possible to get it refunded? We can't do that. Everything is in production. Whatever you ordered, we ordered that for you, put it in production. So we're not able to do that with any of the orders since beginning production, which was a long time ago once we started. I'm turning really red in here. This camera is goofy. I got to change the lights in here or something. Brad, Troy, you're doing great. Give Troy a raise. Andy, thank you, Troy. All right. Andy says it's a lot of your hands, guys. It's a lot out of your hands, guys. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Andy. We're doing our best. It's totally on us to have made estimates that we weren't able to fulfill on. That's on us. If we had known what we know now, we certainly would have made different estimates when we launched the campaign. A lot of bikes did ship out for earlier than the estimates, but a lot of them shipped later than the estimates as well. I'm gonna try and fix this camera. Hang on. Whoa. All right. Is that color fixed? It turned all red. I think it's still red. Let's see. Nope. Man. All right, we'll fix the camera in the next live. Alphonse, any updated schedules to show after Chinese New Year? We will certainly have more updates next week once things are back in swing at the factory. So we'll be able to catch up with everybody there, our QC guys, our production managers, etc., to give some better estimates of what's coming out. We again won't be able to say exactly when each person's order is arriving, as much as we wish we could. It's something that's absolutely not possible at the moment. But we will have two of our original factories coming back online, so we'll expand our current capacity from just Spain to Spain and our two main production locations. Chris, believe it or not, my wife and my friends keep asking me, where is my bike? And I keep telling them, nearly here, nearly here. Chris, we get that. And I bet you that's where most of the frustration is for folks is, you get so excited about this new bike coming, tell your friends, tell your wife, and then afterwards you sit there waiting and your wife is saying, or your friends are saying, where's your bike? Where's the bike you ordered? And I bet it's embarrassing, really challenging to handle. And I feel you on that. Imagine how we feel not having got the bike to you yet. So we're working to get it to you ASAP so you can finally show them, here's my bike. It's awesome. Have a ride. Brad, Rob, I'm going to check out the Hill video. Happy Aussie FLX customer here. Take care all. Thank you so much, Brad. Great to have you on the live, and ride safe out there. Enjoy the baby maker. We're glad it made it to you safely. Alphonse, purchased my bikes in May. Any idea when they'll be arriving? Also, did buying two bikes delay my order? Alphonse, not at all. Buying two bikes will not delay your order. They're all, with the exception of geographic location and a few SKUs shipping before others, they're all shipped in terms of when you place the order. So if I ordered on the 16th and somebody ordered on the 17th, I will get mine before the other guy. That's what we're trying to do, and pretty much fulfilling on. However, there's, for example, a container of bikes that ship to Australia where orders all the way through May or June have got delivered, whereas we're only in April or May in the US. So there is some exceptions based on geographic location, or because a certain SKU like the pink 19-inch with dropper bars, there were only 3 orders for it. So we made all 3 at one time. So one guy with that SKU who ordered way later than everybody else, he got it just because we had to make them all at the same time. So those are the 2 exceptions to that. What is the status of the Sterling with drops? Did they leave China yet? The hoods issues resolved? Hey, great question. I will be updating you guys on that in either the upcoming production update or the one after that. Basically, we had to source new hoods. We had to get new hoods made because the first ones had blemishes on them. That should be resolved. They were supposed to be delivered next week, I believe, is when they're supposed to be delivered. So I'm going to have to wait for them to come in. We'll get photos of them, and then we'll update you guys on those. Connie says, Ben did the new Blade 2.0 video in his garage. LOL. Awesome. Yeah, Ben is fire with the videos. Good idea. Assembly the touring package. I haven't seen any pictures on complete installed of touring package. Yes, that video just went live. We should have sent that in the production update. I'll have to do that next week. Eugene, what happened to the Beast? Great question. So the Beast is in development right now. We've had to really focus on the Baby Maker right now. The Beast, we're finalizing the design on that, but it looks like we'll be launching the weapon before that one. So it will go weapon and then Beast probably shortly after that. So stay tuned on the Beast. It's still in development, and we'll be keeping you updated by email when we do have new updates on the Beast. Connie, will you do a weapon with the roll off and belt? I want it, but no roll off and belt is what stopped me from jumping on board. Great question, Connie. We'll certainly consider it. The roll off isn't something that you typically see on a full suspension bike because having that belt and shifter back there with all the moving parts, it can complicate things. So we really want to nail that thing. And also being a downhill mountain bike, you traditionally see a cassette and derailleur back there for good reasons. They're also a lot lighter than the roll off hub. So that's why we haven't done that, but I'll certainly keep it in mind. We'll keep it in mind moving forward that you want that. And if we get more requests for it, we'll consider it and talk about it with our designers. Zach, are you able to reach out to Tough Nails to get clarification on UK VAT to Northern Ireland? I have an option to get my bike delivered to Northern Ireland if it means I don't have to pay VAT. Um, Zach, I don't have information on that. Troy has an idea, but he didn't want to put his foot in his mouth until he's completely certain on that. So once we are certain, we'll be letting our UK orders know on that, and our Northern Ireland orders know on that. I think it's probably going to be the same as the UK, according to the look I got from Troy earlier. Orbell, I ordered my Baby Maker Pro 19-inch with bullhorn 2 weeks ago. I know you guys mentioned on your website that it is estimated this summer to ship. Can things change? And it doesn't come until next year. Orbell, that's extremely unlikely. Super unlikely. We're building thousands of Baby Makers right now, and we did put in orders for even more Baby Makers than we had pre-orders for. So your bike will probably be shipping from those. If we listed summer, it's pretty likely that it will be along those timelines. If there's any crazy delays on components or anything, we'll keep you updated. But extremely, extremely, extremely unlikely, if not impossible, that it would be next year. Orbell, I'm just so excited and can't wait to get it. LOL. I've been watching videos and pictures every day until I receive it. I had to buy a cheap fixie for the time being. Awesome. Hey, it's going to be a dream switching from the fixie to the Baby Maker. Eugene says, "What's up, Jason?" Eugene, great to have you on the live. Kim, I just received my bike last Thursday. I'm in Adelaide, South Australia. Totally wrapped with my new toy. Awesome. Kim, super excited that you got the Baby Maker and that you love it. That does mean the world to us, and we're super excited to see when people get the Baby Makers. We know it's been a hell of a wait for you, so congratulations. Enjoy the bike. Eugene says, "Jason, you ready to rewire my Baby Maker prototype?" All right. Okay, now we're getting down to all the questions that were asked while Jason was here. Mechanic questions all answered. Michael says, Connie, his Blade 2.0 had the Thudbuster style Shimano post delivered December 1st. Awesome, Michael. Hugman says, have any bikes been shipped out to Portugal? If not, when will they? I vaguely recall seeing somebody in Portugal with a Baby Maker on the group. I could be mistaken, but Portugal is handled the same as all the other European countries. There's no reason if you are in Portugal that it would be later than the other folks. It's just in order of order date. Mahmood says, "Hey guys, thanks for everything that you do. I wish it was more readily available in Australia." We'll get there. We will get there. All right. The BLER. How about those Sterling drop bar bikes? Update on status. Yeah, so I answered that earlier. I will have an update next week or the following week. We had to remake the the hoods for those, and they were supposed to arrive next week. They're supposed to arrive, so hopefully they'll arrive. If not next week, then the following week, and production will continue. Assembly will continue on the Sterling drop bikes then. Alphonse asked, "What did you learn logistics wise for the next Baby Maker 2.0?" Wow, logistics wise, um, the biggest takeaway is really managing your guys' expectations. We had an aggressive delivery schedule at the start based on everything we knew and everything our suppliers told us as far as when they could deliver motors, when they could deliver brakes, etc., and also industry standard, how long it takes us typically to produce bikes. What we didn't know is that COVID completely nuked the entire bike industry. It just blew up because everybody had no gyms to go to, so everybody's hopping on bikes, buying bikes everywhere. So that's why all bike shops sold out, and now the industry is completely slammed. All component suppliers are sold out basically for a long time. We're talking lead times 3 and 4 times longer than is normal for us. So it's been very challenging getting all the parts in, and that was the biggest thing we learned from this is really to have multiple plans in place for different parts, to have them ordered well in advance in the bike industry, and also in our shipping estimates. One thing that's challenging is Indiegogo makes you put a month on the shipping estimate, which is it's like landing a rocket ship on a small pad. It's so hard to say exactly what month. Even if it ships out today, it'd be hard for me to tell you what month it will arrive from China to the U.S. just because the sea freight market is so slammed right now. You've got customs, you've got ships that can't even port. They'll be sitting at port for weeks just to get a spot now to unload. So it's tough to even say a proper month when the ship leaves. What we'd love is if we could give a range of dates. So we're working with Indiegogo on something like that. If we can do it for our next campaign that says between the months of, say, February and June, you'll get the bike. That would go a long way in terms of managing everybody's expectations. So they'll know a good window on when they'll get the bike, and they won't be disappointed because they were expecting it in a certain month and it didn't get there, or it got there earlier. So we'd love to have a window. That would be a big thing for us. All right. Tim Ferris, excellent update. See you next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Thank you, Tim. Arlay Simon says, "Peter, I've been waiting on my Blade 2 almost as long as you. Hang in there. I'm sure it'll be worth the wait." Hey, yeah, the Blade 2s, they're almost in. I think they're at port right now, so it's just a few weeks until they clear customs, get to the distribution center, and then go out to you. Peter says, "Change my color. I don't care. Where's my bike?" Peter, it's in production. It will be with you very soon. Seamus Crumlish, "Hey, Rob, has the charger problem been sorted in the EU, deliveries, and any word on the Irish orders?" Seamus, yes, the charger problem is sorted in the EU. There were 8 people who got the wrong chargers. 6 of those people, I believe, the new charger is already going out. The remaining 2, those are going out shortly. And if there's any more, we'll handle those as well. As far as the Irish orders, those will be going out with the. Dang, I forget if those are going out with EU or UK. I think it's UK, but don't quote me on that. As soon as bikes go out, we'll be letting you guys know in the production updates. I'm getting that cotton mouth. Let me get some water. All right. CMIS, plus you guys rock. Can't wait to get my baby maker. Hey, thank you so much. We can't wait to get it to you too. Chris says, Rob, hope you will not raise the price on the Phantom because I am planning to buy it as well. That's awesome, Chris. Hey, if you do want the Phantom, now is the time to get in on it because we do have limited supply of that as well. The delivery date for that, um, the current batch, basically what's in production now, that those boards are running out very soon. So it's going to be another bit of time. Once those sell out, we're going to have to increase the delivery estimates for the Phantom, and that price is going up too as soon as they get in stock for us. Ben, waiting patiently from the UK, looking forward to my Baby Maker Pro. No stress on time, just looking forward to it for the summer. Hey, Ben, thank you so much. And we're excited to get it to you in time for summer. Peter Romanos, how come no one returns phone calls? Peter, we're not doing the phone right now. I think we do voicemails. We used to do phone support, but there's been too many phone calls coming in since the Baby Maker campaign launched, more than our small staff can handle at the moment. So our main focus is email support. We've got the Mechanic Mondays every Monday from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. If you have mechanic questions about your bikes, maintenance questions, you can join and chat live with our mechanic on our site. But yeah, if you need any support at flx.bike is where you can reach us. Alphonse Edward, what is the time it takes once the bike lands to shipping out to the customers? Alphonse, it depends on where you are. If you're in the US, once it gets to our distribution center, it can take a few days, anywhere between 2 and 5 or 6 business days in general for those to go out from the distribution center. But once that ship ports to the distribution center, that's an unknown because customs can take anywhere from a few days to clear a container to at sometimes as long as 3 weeks or so in the US, and even longer, as we've seen with Spain, where we had one container that was stuck in customs for, I believe, just over 6 weeks. Sharony, Peter, stop being so annoying. It is a great success plus COVID. It is not that strange. There is a huge delay. Thank you, Sharony. We get it. Peter's anxious to get the bike as well as everybody else. And thank you. We are doing our best. We will get Peter and everybody else who's waiting their bikes in short order. Rob, did they find a fix for the screw on the Blade 2.0 dropout? Yes, Connie, for your Blade 2.0, that's been completely resolved. It was only the first small batch of Blade 2.0s that had a clearance issue, and we issued some fixes for that. A smaller nut, I believe it was. But on your Blade, that's been completely resolved and designed. It's been fixed in the design. Darren, the FLX Beast, it is still in development. We're tweaking the designs on that. That's probably going to drop after the Weapon. The Weapon is our next launch, so stay tuned for that, and we'll have more news about the Beast soon. Sharony, what happened to the initial chain wheel? It was super stylish on the pictures, but it seems to have changed. Sharony, great question. So that chain ring was actually for a different style of belt, and that belt is not as good as the belt that we use now. So that belt in our initial tests, Pete actually went a crazy distance, like 3,000, 1,000, somewhere in the thousands of kilometers through Europe on the Baby Maker, just riding, putting in serious miles on that Baby Maker, and had a couple issues with that belt slipping during his trip. He had to adjust it frequently based on how he was using it. So we went with a belt that's got a better reputation. It's the Gates Carbon Belt Drive, and that's the chainring that you get there. So it's a much better belt system that you're getting. It's also lighter weight than the previous chainring, so you're saving some weight and you're getting a better belt. Drawn from the water. Hey, Rob, hope you're well. I'm wondering, sorry, are you a millionaire now? Drawn from the water. I live in my van, if that answers your questions. Most of the challenges we have, we take right out of my paycheck as well. D's, how long does it take to cross the ocean? From China to the U.S., typically 2 weeks to 3 weeks on the water. And then the longest part of that is actually the ship just trying to get a parking spot right now at the harbor, and then it clearing customs. That can take anywhere between 10 days and 3-4 weeks sometimes on the extreme long end of that spectrum. Arlay Simon, Rob, I see that you're doing t-shirt commercials now. Is that one of their products you're wearing? Yeah, this is a fresh, clean tee. You guys may get some ads that I did for these t-shirts. They're just great t-shirts. I'm not involved in that company at all. It's just a local San Diego company, and they wanted a model for their shirt, so I did that. Chris, thank you, Rob. Love you and FLX team. God bless you all. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for joining the live. We love you too. I mean, we can't wait to get your bike out to Indonesia. Ray, thanks, Rob, for your time and attention to these lives. FLX rocks. No, Ray, you rock. Thank you for joining us. Connie, thanks, Rob. Darren, all right, thanks. Alphonse, any fat tire folding bikes in the future? I am US based in NYC. Alphonse, if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. That's all we can say at the moment. Alphonse, how are the t-shirt sales? I don't know exactly. It's not my company, but I believe they're doing really well. They make great t-shirts at a great price, so check them out. Evan Dix, I received a delivery email back in November. Turns out it was for someone else. I just wanted to make sure I'm back in the queue for delivery. Evan, keep an eye out on your email. That is strange that it was for somebody else. It might be because we were shorted in November. We were shorted like 8 bikes or so from a container, which did mess some things up. We had 8 people get notifications for bikes that didn't exist because they didn't make it in the container. So it's probably from that. So apologies for that, but you should certainly be back in the lineup. Drawn from the water, you seriously live in van majority of the time. Yeah, I don't have a house. That's how I live. It puts me really close to the office. I don't need a lot to be happy, so I enjoy it. All right, everybody, that is all the questions we've got on the live. Really appreciate you guys for joining. Again, everybody's working hard here. We did have some challenges with Europe and the UK this week, which we're certainly disappointed about. Mainly to disappoint you guys. It's killer. We're working on that. We'll keep you updated. Hopefully have better news for you in next week's update on that custom status. But everybody else, loads of bikes being delivered all around the world right now. China is back online next week. 2 factories back online. Super excited about that. So again, thank you guys for watching the live. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all next week and delivering all these bikes. Take care. Love you.